Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on the cheek, offer the other one as well. If someone takes your coat, don't withhold your shirt either. Give to everyone who asks, and don't demand your things back from those who take them. Treat people in the same way that you want them to treat you. If you love those who love you, why should you be commended? Even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, why should you be commended? Even sinners do that. If you lend, how's it going? If you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, why should you be commended? Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But I say, love your enemies, do good, and lend, expecting nothing in return. If you do, you'll be acting the way children of the Most High act. For He is kind, just as your Father is compassionate. Don't judge, and you won't be judged. Don't condemn, and you won't be condemned. Forgive, be given. To you, a good portion. Back down from your own eye. How can you say to your brother or sister, let me take the splinter out of your eye, when there is the log in your own eye? You deceive yourselves. First, take the log out of your eye, and then you will see clearly to take the splinter out of your brother's or sister's eye. A good tree doesn't produce bad fruit, nor does a bad tree produce good fruit. Each tree is known by its fruit. You don't gather figs from thorny plants, nor do they pick grapes from prickly bushes. A good person produces good out of the good treasury of the inner self, out of the evil treasury of the inner self. The inner self overflows with words that are spoken. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and don't do what I say? I'll show you what it's like when someone comes to me, hears my words, and puts them into practice. It's like a person building a house by digging deep and laying the foundation on bedrock. When the flood came, the rising water smashed against the house, but the flood couldn't shake the house. But it couldn't shake the house because it was well built. But those who don't put into practice what they hear are like a person who built a house without a foundation. The flood water smashed against it and it collapsed instantly. It was completely destroyed. After Jesus finished presenting all his words among the people, he entered Capernaum. A man suffering from he entered Capernaum. A centurion had a servant who was very important to him, but the servant was ill and about to die. When the centurion heard about Jesus, the centurion sent friends to say to Jesus, when the centurion heard about Jesus, he sent some Jewish elders to Jesus to ask him to come and heal his servant. When they reached Jesus, they earnestly pleaded with Jesus, he deserves to have you do this for him. They said, he loves our people and he built our synagogue for us. Jesus went with them. He had almost reached the house when the centurion sent friends to say to Jesus, Lord, don't be bothered. I don't come under and consider. I'm also a man appointed under authority with soldiers under me. I say to one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes. I say, my servant, do this, and the servant does it. When Jesus heard these words, he was impressed with the centurion. He turned to the crowd following him and said, I tell you that even in Israel, I'm a faith like this. The centurion's friends returned to his house. They found the servant restored to health. A little later, Jesus went to a city called Nain. His disciples and a great crowd traveled with him. As he approached the city gate, a dead man was being carried out. He was his mother's only son, and she was a widow. He was his mother's only son, and she was a widow. A large crowd from the city was with her. When he saw her, the Lord had compassion for her and said, "Don't cry." He stepped forward and touched the stretcher on which the dead man was being carried. Those carrying him stood still. Jesus said to him, "Young man, I say to you, get up." The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Awestruck, everyone praised God. A great prophet has appeared among us, they said. God has come to help his people. God has come to help his people. This news about Jesus spread throughout Judea and the surrounding region. John's disciples informed him about all these things. John called 2 of his disciples and sent them to the Lord. They were to ask, "Are you the one who is coming, or should we look for someone else?" When they reached Jesus, they said, "John the Baptist sent us to you." He asked, "Are you the one who is coming, or should we look for someone else?" Right then, Jesus healed many of their diseases.